The Midweek Drive Online, using communications technology to make the universe a better place.
Well, from the department that once brought you the line that Brussels was looking to straighten our bananas, and indeed conceivably from the Society for Square Earth believers, we have another little feature, which actually deals with the squareness of potatoes. Yes, it does seem as though square potatoes are heading towards us. And to actually talk us through this phenomenal change of events in terms of that wonderful root vegetable that we've come to know and appreciate, we have Chief Potato Officer at Albert Bartlett. That's the fabulous Paddy Graham-Jones. How are you, Paddy?
I'm great, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to come along and speak about our latest innovation. So at Albert Bartlett, we're always looking for new ideas, new varieties of potato, ones that perhaps taste better than the conventional potatoes, and these days ones which are resistant to pests and diseases that help us in our fight against the climate change we're all going through in agriculture. So the idea of a square potato came from our chip factory down in Norfolk, where we make chips. They often complain to me about the shape of potatoes and how they get wastage when they get those small little bits of chips, which are tasty, but the consumer sometimes doesn't like them. So if I could and my team could come up with a square potato, that would make their life much easier. So what we've done is we've taken the original attributes of the rooster potato with its red skin and its creamy texture and basically bred a square potato.
Mm. And obviously, looking at the whole essence of the waffle and the shape of the waffle, were you actually inspired at all by the waffle to actually add waffles to the square potato?
So the square potato offers us lots of advantages. For a start, it makes us able to produce chips all the same size with a lower level of waste. It allows us throughout the supply chain to stack, pack, and transport the product much easier. And it also is an important advantage for the consumer is that the square potato doesn't fall off the plate.
And I know the stresses that have been caused by many a wobbling potato that's actually wobbled its way into almost oblivion, really, when falling off the backs of lorries and so on. Presumably, this square potato a lot less chance of wobble impacts.
Wobble impact can be a serious issue with the potato, but this defeats that issue. Our Michelin-starred chefs, so Stephen McLaughlin at the Andrew Fairley restaurant at Gleneagles, he's tried them and he likes them because it's much easier for him to make those big, fat, chunky chips and build a display on the plates, almost like the Jenga potato chip model. And Michel Roux Jr., he's tried them. So we've had some really positive reaction to them, and that's what's given us the idea of continuing to do this and perhaps look at other innovations in the potato category going forward.
Well, I was thinking not just potatoes. I mean, does this also conceivably open up the way to square tomatoes, square grapes, possibly, and indeed other nutritional areas that could also benefit from actually losing their roundness?
Absolutely. There's all good things about being square, and I'm certainly somebody who knows that.
Mm. The sphere is obviously something which has become rooted in terms of our culture from that point of view. I mean, is this a 21st century attempt to really ensure that this revolutionary shape, which still maintains all its textures, you rightly said, Michelin star chefs effectively giving a thumbs up to this, that actually this is something which not only is going to be aesthetically pleasing, but could conceivably actually set the scene for a whole new range of nutrition across the globe.
Absolutely. The square rooster really represents a significant step forward in our commitment to Albert Bartlett to innovation in the agricultural sector. While it might not redefine farming entirely, it gives examples of how thoughtful design and cultivation can get to the root of a problem. And by having square vegetables, our supply chain would be much more efficient Fridges would be easier to stack. You'd have all your vegetables neatly stacked. We all know the issue of things falling out the fridge because we're trying to put too much in there. So it is an innovation that will hopefully contribute to our future in agriculture going forward.
Scotland has been known for centuries for being innovators when it comes to engineering, etc. And given that Albert Bartley headquarters are actually in Airdrie, is this yet another case of Scotland ruling the world when it comes to squareness?
Absolutely. Well, it's absolutely innovation from Scotland, the telephone, the pneumatic tire, now the square potato.
Yeah.
You know, these are all innovations that have come from our country. So let's hope we continue to come up with such ideas going forward.
All change tends to generate some kind of concern. I mean, have you had any people who've actually started already the notion of, well, bring back the sphere? You know, we don't like our square potatoes. I mean, can you see challenges there, or do you think this is going to be a uniform acceptance by the general public who will actually, once they've actually experienced the joy of the square potato, that actually they will never ever believe that potatoes could have been any other shape other than square?
It has given us a few challenges. So when we harvest the potatoes, when it's a round potato, they tend to roll nicely over the machinery in our production lines. So there has been one or two disadvantages, but again, innovation has helped us overcome those challenges, and we don't foresee any serious issues going forward, apart from the poor dog who normally sits there waiting on that potato to fall off the plate. That's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, well, every revolution has its collateral damage, arguably. Did you always wish to be a chief potato officer, Paddy? Was this something which, again, you thought, yeah, I mean, basically, the spud is basically where my heart has always been?
Yeah, my heart is definitely with this spud. I talked about my square characteristics. Unfortunately, I eat too many spuds, so I'm a little round. But it's always been one of my favourites, and there's nothing more I enjoy than a plate of potatoes. Thank you, be them square or round.
And finally, for our listeners in Lincolnshire obviously known as Spud County. Indeed, the local radio is known affectionately as Radio Spud for many a year. Do you feel that that's going to impact in terms of a logo design, or just the generality of how Lincolnshire actually copes with these new square potatoes?
So we're very much embedded in Lincolnshire. We have a factory at Kirkton Home in Lincolnshire where we pack spuds. But the first thing I would do is change the name of that radio company. It should be the Square Spud Radio Company,
Yeah,
much more suitable than just the Spud Company.
I think
Spud
that was
Radio,
the.
sorry.
Yeah, it's well worth considering, but that's for another time for another debate. If people wish to find out more details about the square potato and Albert Bartlett, where would you point them, Paddy?
You'll find out lots of details about all our potatoes, be them square, round, lots of recipes from chefs, a bit about how we grow them at www.albertbartlett.co.uk.
Paddy Graham Jones, Chief Potato Officer at Albert Bartlett. A huge thanks, and may you never encounter unusually shaped potatoes other than square.
Thank you.